Hello and thank you for joining me. I'm Heather Forgan of stampwithnellie.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in the UK. Today I'm going to take these. So we've got some Mossy Meadow, some Cherry Cobbler, some basic white card and some of this absolutely stunning online exclusive designer series paper. Now this pack is called Shining Christmas and it has a shiny pattern on one side and a matte on the other side. Loads of lovely designs in the pack. I'm sticking with this holly one and this is what we're going to make. So just a simple little milk carton style box, just with this lovely shiny designer series paper and gorgeous shiny ribbon as well. So you will get all of the dimensions and the products lists that you need in my blog. There will be a link to that blog in the description for this video. But I'm starting off with a piece of Mossy Meadow card that measures 8 1/4, so that's the full width of a sheet of A4 by 6 inches. So if you're using American cardstock that it is 8.5 inches, just leave it at 8.5. You'll get a wider tab to be able to build your box up with. So I thought I had everything set aside, and I do, I just can't find it. Right, so on the long side, simply scoring that at 2, 4, 6 and 8 inches. Turn that around, score at 2 and 4 again, but this time just at 5 1/4, and then put it back to how you started off and score at 3, but just down to that horizontal score line there, and the same at 7. Okay. So we've got these lines here, and I need to put a diagonal score line in there, 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 and there. Got my ruler, just lining that up. I find it easier to turn it. So we've got that one done. Let's just do this one. And then the last one. So from there up to there. Okay. Now, before I forget, I am going to burnish all of these score lines. Okay. That top one actually wants to fold back. And then do all of them this way as well. And then, so I've only got a 1/4 inch to play about with there, but if you're using US cardstock, as I said, leave it at your 8.5 and you'll get a wider tab there. I will simply glue on these pieces of designer series paper. So each of these panels on the box is 2 inches. So I have just cut this to 1 7/8 of an inch by 1 7/8. So there is the tiniest of margins around about there. If you want, you could save paper and take that down to 1 3/4. What I would say is with your 12 by 12 paper, I would cut at the 1 7/8 or 1 3/4, whichever you decide, and then you can get all of the bits from just one 12-inch strip. So that's the best way to cut it. So we've got 4 of these, obviously, got 4 sides. And I could have been clever and cut them so that I had a continuous pattern, but life's too short. So this is another one of my Festive Friday projects. So I have a little series of Christmas themed projects on each Friday throughout September 2023, as long as I can be bothered. So who knows, it might go all the way up to Christmas. I might run out of ideas in October, who knows. But I have set up a playlist so that you can get all of the Festive Fridays in one place. So I'll put a link to that playlist in the description for this video as well. So these 2 pieces are going on the ones that we've not scored. So we put the diagonals on there, and these ones don't have any score lines, so they get some designer series paper. And these are 1 7/8 by 1 1/8. So again, tiny little margin around about them. And then I've got 2 other bits that are going to go above those, and these are 1 7/8 wide by 5/8 of an inch. So that's just fitting in there as well. Teeny tiny margins. So again, if you were changing that to 1 3/4 by 1 3/4, that would be 1 3/4 by 1, and that one would be 1 3/4 by 1/2. Just save yourself a little bit of paper and give yourself a little bit more of a margin around about. Alright, so that's us got all of our paper on. We need to do a little bit of cutting, and then we can do some assembly and decoration. So for the cutting, I'm going to cut straight up those score lines along the bottom here. Okay. Just to that horizontal line there. Straight up to that score line. Okay, and then that last one, I'm going to take a little bit of a wedge out of that side just to save time, and little tiny wedge out there. So taking that bit off, that's all the waste. Not much, eh? Don't like to waste much, do I? Okay, so the ones that don't have the designer series paper there, just take a little slither off either side just to take out some of the bulk when we fold this up. Not entirely necessary, I just think it gives a slightly neater finish, which is why I've taken a tiny bit off that side when I chopped that. Okay, there we are. So that's what we're left with. I want to put some glue along this piece here. I'm trying not to be too heavy-handed with it, because it's just a skinny little panel, but I do want to get it along to the edge there. So I'm just using that bit that I chopped off as a little glue spreader. And then just make sure I've got enough all the way along. Put that in a bin before I put something else on it. And then just fold that round, and that should line up nice and neatly. Give it a little press, I like to turn it over and give it a press again. So we've now got our join at the back there. I'm going to bring the back piece forward and then add glue to the side pieces that we took the little wedges out. That one and that one. And they fold over like that. And then this piece here, I'm putting glue all the way around and bring that round there. So our front has got this nice continuous piece there and all the joins are at the back. Okay, bone folder in, just make sure it's all sticking down. All right, so to assemble, basically just pushing in those bits there and the rest just goes because we've already burnished those score lines and it just slides in nice and neatly. Forgot to show you what I put in this one, and I do these every year. We have a Yankee candle. I just pop in there and my ribbon can go back around, hopefully, maybe. So I haven't actually gone out and bought my candles for this year yet. That was one of, it's probably about 2 years ago because it's one of my favourites, and I've kept all of those ones. They don't do sparkling cinnamon anymore. It's slightly different. Oh goodness, wish I hadn't taken that off now. There we go. There we are. So yeah, I haven't got another one to put in there. But let's just pretend there's one in there. Need to do a little bit of decoration on this, and you'll see I've used a stamp for winter wishes. That is from Magical Meadow, this one here, and I have my cherry cobbler ink pad to do that one again. Nicely inked up and stamped, and I cut that with the smaller oval. Yeah, I would do that. I stamped it a little bit too far up, so I need to take a little bit off the bottom there. Lining that up like so. Spare. And if I had used the larger one, it's a bit too big. It goes over the side, but I did want something else to make it pop and stand out a little bit. So when I cut the one I used for that, like that, I ended up with two. So I've got this one. Waste not, want not. What I'm going to do is use a post-it note as a little handle so that I can easily, or more easily, oh please, she says easily. What I'm going to do is not have the edge sticking out, so I can pop that in there like that and make sure I've got it in line. And then remember and take that bit off. A sticky bit of my post-it will come off. I'd rather waste a post-it than a piece of card. Alright, now to back this, I'm finished stamping. Let's get rid of that. What I did was simply cut the oval in half lengthwise. my little pot of glue, add some glue along that top edge, and then line that up so there's just a little margin showing. And then do the same with the other half. So there is a little gap at the ends, but not too obvious. Then I've got dimensionals. I'll put a couple of them. That's way wonky, isn't it? Looks okay. Looks okay. No one's going to see the back. So just checking, this is the front. Pop that in the centre-ish, like so. I've already gone ahead and die cut the holly leaves, and this I used Magical Meadow dies. There is one holly leaf there, and there's a little die that cuts out lots of berries all at once. So a little bit of glue on my holly leaf and pop one on there, and then the other one kind of beside. You want to make sure that your holly leaf doesn't go above your score line there. Okay, so you can play about with it a little bit. And then these little berries. Okay, what I'm going to do is add a tiny spot and then get my tweezers and pop one there on top of the berry, on top of the holly, and then the other two beside it. 1, 2. There we go. Right, and the last bit is to put our ribbon on the top, and this is the iridescent ribbon. I find the easiest way to do that, little clip to hold it in place whilst I'm gonna put the clip. I say easy, I never find ribbon easy at all. Hold that there. And I'm just tying this in a knot. It's quite a thick and sturdy ribbon, I think's the word. So I think a knot looks better than trying to do a bow. That's my excuse. I'm sticking to it. Okay, then just shimmy that along to where you want it, and I can just chop that off around about there, and the same about there. All right, so there you go. I have 2 Winter Wishes milk carton style boxes ready for a little Christmas votive candle inside. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, please give me a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, please click on that subscribe button. Click on the link and you'll get a notification the next time I upload a tutorial. Until then, please do take care. Bye.